Rath, president of the Logan County Chamber of Commerce, and I couldn't be more thrilled to be up here today. This is my first time actually walking up on the site, and it's hopefully, like you feel, it's pretty impressive. It's a lot larger site than anything driving by, and it's going to be gorgeous. This is going to be a phenomenal addition to Bellefontaine and to Logan County, and there's so many people that have been involved in bringing this about. And today is really about recognizing so many that have come to the table over the years and celebrating a project that has been long needed in our community. It's been since the early 90s since we had a hotel constructed in Logan County. And today we're actually celebrating two groundbreakings, as the one up at Indian Lake will be starting at 3 o'clock. But today we want to kick off with celebrating Cobblestone coming to Bellefontaine. There are a lot of our investors that are part of the project here today, and we'll get to hear from a couple of them. Hear some of the background and the history of how this came together, and what things are going to look like as this moves forward. So I know you all are feeling the wind blowing at you, so we'll keep this a short and sweet event. But we do have Mayor Stoller is going to come share, Jim Holycross, one of our signing members, Chad Ross, Jeremy Griesbach from Cobblestone Hotels, and Chad Hoffman from Richwood Bank, just so you know what to expect. But let me welcome up Mayor Ben Stoller, who's been a big part of this project for many years. Mayor, please come on up.
Thanks, and I don't believe I deserve any of that applause. Sitting here being just as grateful, Ben, as you, I think of at least two of my grandkids, their mother basically go to Bellefontaine School and do their grateful fours. And so at the end of the day, they have to, even if they haven't had a great day, they have to come up with things they're grateful for. But like Ben, I stand up here and think, wow, what a sight, and all the things that we are grateful for. So thank you all for being here. Thank you to the investors. Thank you to, it was a joy working with the City Council, who was all on board to help create the best economic development tool we could to help inch this forward. It feels like when you're watching football on a Saturday, it took all 11 players, and so grateful for the financial help. Richwood Bank is on board, often behind some of our best projects. Look over my shoulder, see if they're glaring at us from the Comfort Inn, but I don't care. But every community really deserves good, better, and best. And guys, I've been working with Jim Holycross for years, who was our city manager, and we knew in our heart we needed another hotel. You would hear that from friends and family that would stay, and then we helped pay for and work with the chamber and others to do a hotel study, and we were always just so close. They said, oh, you're almost big enough for a Holiday Inn, a Ramada, a Marriott, something, but they just wouldn't quite take us out on the date. And then along came Cobblestone, and that is just the greatest concept. So thank you, local investors. Thank you, Cobblestone, for being here. I'll move on, so I didn't pay attention. Who's next? Jim Holycross, thanks.
Thank you, Mayor. So Jim probably won't give himself enough credit with this, as Jim was Service Safety Director for the City of Bellefontaine, and I think was probably the largest advocate for Cobblestone back, maybe 2016, and pushed hard, didn't quite get there, as the mayor shared, tried a couple different things. He retired, took another job helping run the airport, and Jim has continued to be among the strongest champion for this hotel. So very proud and thankful to have Jim as one of the signing members of the investor group. So Jim, come share one on you.
Well, first off, I know there's people here from other states, right? I know we got some Wisconsin folks, right? And Pennsylvania, right? Anybody, anywhere else in Northern Ohio? Michigan, all right. Well, so you probably know where I'm going to go with this. Now, there's something that happens at every Ohio State football game. They do the script Ohio thing. And I kind of felt like today, as I was getting ready to come out, that I must know what that tuba player feels like before they go out on the field, right? Because that's where I feel like we are. You're not
community had an identity crisis. It wasn't a bad thing, but it was a real thing, because people in the community referred to us as a railroad, which we were years and years ago. This was home to the Big Four Railroad. It was quite an exciting time in history of town, but it was awful. Other people would say, well, I was in the Air Force, and that's what brought me here. Campbell Hill, the highest point in Ohio.
Also represents the airport, and if you haven't been out there recently, you'll see the airport is packed with license plates from all across the country. And so they'll probably be one of the top users of this new facility. It's very exciting to think that we'll have a nice home for those folks that are visiting to come stay. Next, I'd like to welcome up Chad Ross, CEO of Bellefontaine Health. As Chad has also been one of the longtime champions and visionaries of looking at this property. Chad.
Thanks, Chad. Everyone, appreciate you all being here. Hopefully you can hear me okay with the wind going. Yeah, this is something that we've been working on for quite some time, almost a decade. We're just shy of it. 8 years. In 2015, we acquired this property, Bellefontaine Hospital did, specifically with the idea to build this beautiful building that you see here, our Bellefontaine Health Center. And of course, we knew we wanted to build an urgent care, have an outpatient center. But we wanted something more. And so for those of you that have been around, you know that this is the former site of the hotel, the Holiday Inn, that once flourished here in Logan County. But at the time we acquired this property, it was a pile of rubble. And had been that way for about a decade, probably. Not the greatest showplace for the great things that were happening, as Jim said, in Bellefontaine and Logan County. And so acquiring this property with an eye towards our own core mission, but also to be a catalyst perhaps for some economic development. We take that role not only take that role very seriously. Not only do we want to be a leader in community health and wellness in our communities that we serve, but we want to be an economic development driver, not just employing people, but also putting money back in. In this instance, we were hoping that this investment, the design of the surrounding property, we knew we had excess of. We bring some things to this side of Bellefontaine, here in Logan County. At the time, we knew very well that a hotel was something we needed in the area. We were hearing that from our Chamber of Commerce leadership. We were hearing it from other business owners. We saw it in our own business when folks would be coming in to visit. They many times would stay to the east or all the way in Dublin. And so we, from the very beginning, designed this property to not only meet our needs, but also to be a multi-use property for other things that can come to the area, and most specifically a hotel. In addition to the design and implementation of engineering and so forth, we also were very committed for the first survey with the Chamber of Commerce. We have updates of that over time. We've had some near misses. We've talked with a lot of parties, and here we are finally after all those near misses, after some reinvestments on the surveys. We're here in 2023 with the opportunity to have this occur. And so I'd like to thank some people, and I want to go back in time. And first off, I want to thank our board of directors. Our board of directors had the vision from the instant I said when we acquired this to be part of the catalyst of this, and they also knew that perhaps the hospital may have to be an investor. As with any project that is community funded and looking for capital, the ability to contribute this land as an investor does help in the capital raise, and our board of directors had that vision and they supported it all the way through. I want to thank, he's not here, but I want to thank Paul Benedetti. Paul was the head of the Chamber of Commerce when we first charted that first market survey. He then, of course, was the champion of this project as county commissioner. He was on our board for many years, and he really has done a lot to bring this project to fruition. Ben Bolrath, this guy right here, picked up that mantle of leadership with the Chamber of Commerce, and quite frankly, in 2019, we had here this hotel we thought was going to go here. I was a little fatigued of hotel. It's not my main job. Of course, we're here to provide health care. And a little thing called COVID happened in 2020. And so Ben came to me and said, hey, I feel like this is something I really need to champion. I know we've had some near misses. I said, please take it, run with it. I'll do whatever I can do to support it. And the reason we're here today, again, is also because of Ben picking it up and running. I also need to thank Janice Tata. Janice is here. She's with Cobblestone. Janice, you were patient. You were here with us before 2019. You came back around, and you've been persistent in leading this project to where we are. Thank you for that. City Council, Ben, as you mentioned, City Council's been behind this through all the iterations of investments by giving tax abatements, being there to support with bed tax and so forth. Thank you for that. Thank you to the City Council for that. Chad Hoffman, Richwood, thanks for being a champion. Once you guys got on board, you really did a lot to further this, including the drumming up of equity capital in addition to the capital that you were providing in the loan. So thank you for that. And then last and certainly not least, Jim Holycross, Patrick James, all the investors that are here, thank you for getting this across the finish line. Like I said, it's been a while. We've had people that came and went, they talked a good game, but these folks have put their money where their mouth is, and we're going to have this beautiful hotel here as a result of their efforts. Thank you everyone for that, and it's a great day to be here in Logan County.
Thank you so much, Chad. And as you said, there are so many partners that are involved, and it really started with Cobblestone and Janice coming back in and saying, I think this could be a good fit for this community. So on behalf of Brightmark Builders and Cobblestone, I'd like to welcome one of the owners of Cobblestone, Jeremy Griesbach, to have a share with us. Jeremy.
Good afternoon, everyone. Great to be in Bellefontaine. Always excited to come to these groundbreakings, and then as we're on the way, I'm always thinking, well, what can I say different? We're at 172 hotels now in 29 states under construction. That blessed to have a lot of groundbreakings. I was like, what can I say that's different? Well, probably not a whole lot. Again, like usual, I've done probably the least amount of work of anybody here. Pretty good job, huh? I come, I check out the cookies, the breads, I check them out, and check them out, no alcohol in it, no alcohol lunch. Otherwise, I probably would have lost that, but thank God. And then come up here and speak. So, wanted to, I guess, relay what the mayor has talked about. Great. It's probably the first Main Street prototype for Cobblestone hotels in the state of Ohio. Properties that are under construction right now. As we've got another groundbreaking in Indian Lake this afternoon. So we're excited to be part of Ohio and keep it growing. I'm not going to talk about the football thing at all. I'm not sure why we even went there, to be quite honest with you. But we're grateful for football once in a while Janice, who's been on my team for 11 years, 12 years, a while. I had a full head of hair when this all started. But does a good job at working with other communities where Cobblestone's have been a success. Brennan, thank you very much for stepping out of Pennsylvania and coming to Ohio and being part of this project with everyone. Janice even brought in family on this one to invest, so we'll see how that goes. If you met her husband, you'd understand that. But then Richwood Bank, you guys have been part of this for quite a while. Thank you very much for helping work that and staying with us and being patient. I know Janice is not patient. and I'm much less patient than Janice is, to be quite honest. So we're very appreciative of that. David Olivero, Pace Equities, I saw him over here. Pace Equities helped us on quite a few projects from a financing standpoint. Everyone at the city, the council, thank you very much. To the hospital for working with us and understanding that, yes, oftentimes you do have to step up in small town America and be part of that driver. So driving force, we do appreciate all that. Who here has stayed at a Cobblestone? Not a couple, but a couple. We'll keep working on that as we grow the brand. But I think you'll be very proud, again, that Main Street prototype. We're going to have a hotel here that's going to tie in local artwork into the guest room art, some of the lobby art to bring back the history of Bellefontaine and play a role in that. So that'll be a great thing as we go forward. And we really do look forward to being a part of the community. So everyone at the city, mayor, council, everybody else, thank you very much. And next time you see me, hopefully I'll be the person standing and waving over the bar. Thank you very much.
Real briefly, for those that aren't familiar with the setup of the Cobblestone, it is a local equity-driven project. So we have filled here in this tent with many of you that have said, I want this, I see the vision of it, I think this is important enough, I'm going to put my dollars in. So we have our local equity investors. We have Pace Equity with David, so that is a property assessed clean energy, working on higher energy efficiency improvements for new financing. And we also have our capital stack with traditional financing. And Chad Love, Bank. Chad, would you mind coming up and sharing a little bit why Richwood has been involved and your part to play in this?
Well, thanks everybody. I feel very honored to be called up to speak, and this is just a project that we've been excited about since it was here. We know what a hotel can bring, but today's extraordinary day in the life of Bellefontaine. We're here to mark the groundbreaking for a project that exemplifies the remarkable spirit and tenacity of our community. I want to take a moment to thank the visionaries, as we've done all morning, and investors who have come to make this project possible. If you are an investor, we actually have a gift for you. So before you leave today, so you should get that. But those people's unwavering dedication to Bellefontaine and their belief in the potential have led to this event. You see, for a population like this, just like Mayor Stoller said, attracting a major chain hotel is tough to do. But here's a community that really shines, because when the big chains didn't come knocking on your door, you actually just created the door. So that's what makes today's groundbreaking so special. It's a testament to your resolve, your unity, and your commitment to creating a better future. A thriving hotel doesn't just offer travelers a place to rest. It also breathes new life into our local economy. It creates jobs, supports small businesses, and generates tourism revenue. It's a catalyst for growth that ripples through the community. Statistics show that every dollar spent on accommodation generates around $3 in the local economy. And every job created by the hotel has the potential to create additional employment opportunities in the area. Furthermore, a new hotel can attract business travelers, tourists, and even event planners that are looking for the perfect venue. This influx of visitors not only boosts revenues for the hotel, but also for local restaurants, shops, and attractions. But beyond the numbers, let's remember what makes our community truly remarkable: our unwavering support for one another. This hotel is not just a building. It's a symbol of a shared belief and the potential of Bellefontaine. It's a testament to our ability to come together, pool our resources, and invest in our future. I want to take a quick moment to express gratitude on behalf of our team at Richwood Bank. Brian Garris, my Chief Credit Officer, is here, as well as Becky Huffman, the loan officer that worked on this one, and Bethany Watts, just everything that she does. She's had a big week, and this just continues your week, right, Bethany? Yeah, understood. So congratulations to them. But thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this journey. So as we break ground today, let's not just see it as a construction of a hotel, but let's see it as the proof of our community's commitment to one another. And I found this story, I have to finish with it. It's from a book called Community Capitalism by Ron Kitchens. It says, grab the rope. That's what you're likely to hear if you find yourself on a ship, becalmed and threatened. That is what you will hear when you have no wind to sail by and no engines to propel. You must resort to kedging to get out of trouble. The act of kedging goes back as long as boats have traveled the water. Kedging is the act of taking a light anchor or a kedge, loading it into a rowboat, and taking it out as far as the line will allow. After dropping the anchor, every man, woman, and child on the main boat will grab the rope and pull the line as if his or her life depended on it, literally hauling the ship to the anchor. This is repeated again and again until the ship arrives at its destination or until the fair winds once again blow. This sounds like a lot of work, but if it's the only way to overcome a tide that is pulling you into the rocks, then doing the hard work yourself is the only choice. This reminds me of where we now find ourselves in communities around the nation. And like a ship's captain, we have a choice. We can either decide to do the hard work and pull ourselves forward, or we can hit the rocks, knowing that there will be casualties, but hoping that by some miracle some of us will survive. We live in a time of psychological recession, a time when we hear every day about the bleakness of our future. We hear a lot about who is to blame for our economic lot in life, but we hear very little about what each of us can do to determine a path to a renewed future. I believe that the future will not be written by those who believe we can no longer compete, nor will it be written by those who would rather place blame or talk of partisan politics. The future will be written by those who grab the rope and pull the ship to prosperity. This is to say that it will be businesses and individuals, like the ones under this tent, that will create the future. So, do as hundreds of people around you do every day. Grab the rope. Thank you guys very much.
As Chad is sharing, it just reminds me, this isn't done. This project will need the support of everybody in this community. So as you see this building go up, start marking in your minds to tell your customers, your clients, anybody that's traveling that you have coming to your businesses that, hey, we're going to have a really nice place for you to stay. I expect you to tell everybody. It's no longer acceptable to send someone to America. It's no longer acceptable to send them to Dublin. We will have the accommodations here. And that's on you now to take that ownership. We need your support. So this is not done yet. Very exciting day, and the next thing we're going to do is head on over to our little groundbreaking. So all of our investors, come on up over to in front of the sign, and we're going to do our ceremonial tossing of the dirts. After we do our investors, we'd also love to have a second picture with our community, so our county commissioners, city council, Richwood, David from Pace, any of our other folks that just been part of this from the community side. Well, if we could gather all of our investors over first, we'll get some pictures and do our dirt tossing here. Thank you all so much. And please help yourself to a good big lunch while you're waiting. Yeah, there's one. Someone's got to grab that loose one.